gentlemen, and welcome to the Lair of the Film Exorcist, your #1 virus haven in New Jersey. Tonight, I will be reviewing Marriage Story, one of Adam Driver's most interesting roles in cinema next to Kylo Ren. The story follows a married couple, one a stage director, and the other an actress going through a coast-to-coast divorce, which means, ladies and gentlemen, from New York to LA, and then back, and then vice versa. Now let's move on to my opinion. Marriage Story is an award-winning and award-nominated film that has gone underappreciated in the media. After premiering at Venice Film Festival, it was put on Netflix and had a very limited theatrical release. So was it worth all the limited attention, or should it have been promoted more? I think so. To start, I'd like to say that the movie does get boring at times during a lot of the beginning, but it's worth it just to get to the great middle and the perfect ending. It is definitely more focused on the dynamic between Charlie, Nicole, and Henry, but I have to say some of the best moments are when we just get Charlie and Nicole in one room talking things out. Now, there is a lot of moments where it's just a lot of law discussions, but they do have their purpose in this movie, despite being the most boring part of this movie. I mean, come on, do we really need an entire scene of two lawyers arguing over very stupid stuff? Next, I'd like to say I really enjoyed Adam Driver in this movie, and in this case, I would even go as far to say that he's my favorite character, because he perfectly presents the role of a selfish man who mostly sees his own way before he sees other people's, which I can completely agree with and I can relate to, because sometimes I can be selfish too. But this can also make him seem a bit dry during certain scenes, almost giving us a character very similar to Professor Snape during the Harry Potter franchise. Actually, his best scene is when he gets into an argument with Nicole and goes all out, and this scene was actually the one that got a nomination for an Academy Award. Now, this character of Henry is done well despite the character suffering from dyslexia, which gives him a lot more life, unlike a lot of the other supposedly dyslexic kids in shows and movies. I'm looking at you, Max Lopez from The Lopez Show. And actually gave us another one of my favorite scenes near the end of the movie, which I refuse to spoil for you guys, because I just loved it so much. I will also say that I was fascinated with the style that the director used to tell the story. It almost reminded me of a much more entertaining version of The Room, where it didn't really feel like we were watching a movie, but more like we were watching actual people's lives. Now, the real problem with this story was the slow pace that it took, which almost made the beginning feel a little too boring, but the story does definitely speed up later on, when the couple is actually going through the divorce with their lawyers pulling the strings. And to be honest, during most of this movie, I was on Charlie's side after seeing how much he had to go through and all the times his ex-wife took Henry away from him during his time. So yeah, it's not just because I'm a man, it's because this story made me feel for the man's side of divorce. And trust me guys, I've had a lot of people around me go through divorces, so this was a huge insight into what actually goes on. So, with that, I will definitely be giving Marriage Story a 6.5 out of 10 for how long it made me wait for the story to actually get interesting, and the sometimes dry acting, but also for the brilliant story, and I will recommend it to anyone that likes more realistic stories. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you soon. Maybe sooner than you think.